Let me tell you about some research that I'm involved in that I think is very exciting and answers a lot of questions that people have asked about leadership. And I'm working with a team of developmental psychologists, Alan and Adele Gottfried, and a number of other psychologists, some of them developmental psychologists, some of them leadership scholars and organizational psychologists. And what we're doing is we're using a database of they're now adults, but they were initially studied at 1 year of age. Around 1979, these kids were born, and they were studied by the developmental psychologists every year. And the developmental psychologists were really interested in development as persons and not particularly interested in leadership. But as these children became adults, we got involved and did an assessment of them as young adults in terms of their leadership. And what we're able to do is look at where they are in terms of their leadership capacity today. Well, last time we measured them, they were 29 years of age. Looking at where they were in terms of their leadership. So are they in leadership positions? But if they're not in leadership positions, what's their leadership potential? And then going back through this database and finding the predictors of leadership. So I'll just give you one example of something that I think is very interesting. It's believed that, most people believe that sports builds leadership capacity. So we have our children participate in sports, and as teenagers or as young adults, we might participate in team sports. And there's a belief among athletes, among coaches, that team sports builds the kind of skills that are important for leading organizations, leading teams off of the sports field. So there's general belief, but there's very little research on that. Mostly it's retrospective, asking leaders, did you participate in sports? But we're able to do it through our longitudinal database prospectively and able to look at, we have recorded all of their sports participation during their child years and during their teenage years. And we're finding, as people suspected, that yes, indeed, sports and particular kinds of sport activities do build leadership capacity when you're an adult. And right now we're in the process of looking at, what are the elements of sports and how does this process work. But it's very exciting. And so we're able to look at how early life experiences play out in the adult years in terms of whether people emerge as leaders and whether they're effective as leaders as adults.